You think you'd get away with that? Anybody knows something?
I was hoping. Let's see your first kickoff.
Things to do.
Yeah.
If you think we have a high school, Hannah's coming. She's also in the chapter speaking contest, so she might be late. I just sent a text to see if she's gonna make it, but she might come in late if you're okay with rearranging that.
Going? Exactly. I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Oakland School Board for Wednesday, January 15th. If you join me, please, for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming tonight. Any visitors?
I think we have our normal crew. News and views here. It's always a bonus. Thank you for coming tonight.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Excellent. Awards, recognition, and correspondence.
Just on behalf of the administrative team and the district as a whole, we'd just like to say thank you to the School Board Appreciation Month. Appreciation for you guys knows no bounds. The support you show for the district and for all of the employees that want to do their job, and the support that you give them to do that is huge. It does not go unnoticed, and we are thrilled to death to have you guys as our board members. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And anything else in that?
Got nothing else there.
All right, and adjustments to the agenda.
I have two adjustments for you. We got a last second grant request in. Generally, I would throw whoever turned it in at the last second under the bus, but to be fair, it's a late opening grant with a short turnaround, so I had to get it in today. So it's the Blazer grant. So if you want to add a 9.13 under reports and discussions to talk about it, and then under your action items, 11.3. Decide on it.
Okay. Any public comment on non-agenda item? I think Julie's here. Okay. So first up, our consent agenda. So everyone had a chance to look at the minutes for December. I would entertain a motion.
Make a motion to be accept. Motion. Minutes. There we go.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. That carries. Next up, our fiscal overview.
Everything is looking really good. At this point in time, the audit, as you guys know, was done, uploaded to the state. All the actuals are uploaded and received by the state. Everything looks good there. We're still looking great going forward. No change in percentage for the ending fund balance, which means that we will be in great standing for the next fiscal year. Well, we wait to see what the governor's budget comes through. Are there any questions on either the general fund reviews or the checklist things?
Pushing that then.
It's a good month. We only have a half a page of $1,000.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Uh,
Sure.
Just for a note and a plug, we are working towards moving from RevTrack, which is our receivable unit for the school districts, to InTouch by the end of the fiscal year, so that we can not have the ladies have to do double work. It will work with Alma instead of having to go to one and pay and then go to the other and have someone put in the payment method. So we're looking forward to that and seeing that it should make things so much easier and not have to do double the work.
That's essentially our card readers and all of the, we now have it at all the offices, we'll have it at all the offices, doing the gates, games, all those things. So making it much simpler.
Easier to track with a great audit trail. That's what we want.
So it's, what do they always say, multiple levels, or what do they, the auditor always says that,
We want a free stool, free leg stool. We want to be able to see it in every way and track it.
yeah, who doesn't want that, right?
Excellent. All right, thank you for that. Coming up next, student body reports.
Hello, I'm Ali Jimenez, and I'm the activities coordinator in leadership. Today, I will be talking about what has been going on at LMS. First of all, the girls' basketball season is just beginning. We have 14 girls at the season, and the jamboree is this weekend at Glide. In addition, the wrestling season has started as well. We have a large team this year at 16 members. Their first meet is next Tuesday at Glide. Clubs at LMS are doing well, and leadership is preparing for a school assembly. Our Valentine's fundraiser and continuing with our Positive Projects campaign. At our assembly, we will be giving tips for success for the second half of the year since it's almost the end of the quarter. Overall, life at LMS is great. Thank you for having me tonight. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Good evening. My name is Hannah Masley. I just ran here, so stick with me. So happy School Board Appreciation Month to start. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate all that you do for our district. And we are back at it after a nice long break. Students are working hard with the last couple weeks before finals and plan to end the semester on a good note. It's hard to believe that we're already halfway through the year. Wrestling has been slamming with their past 2 meets with multiple high-scoring individuals. This Friday and Saturday, they have the Oregon Wrestling Classic in Redmond, which includes many high school wrestling teams across the state. Over the past 2 weeks, boys basketball had 4 games with 2 wins and much more skills to be obtained. Girls basketball has also won 2 games against the same team as the boys. Both teams have gained more experience and become better players every day. Yesterday, they opened the league season with home wins against Bridgeport. Leadership has taken a short hiatus to learn about the importance of leadership and how to be a strong leader as we finish off the semester. We'll plan to pick up back after in the new semester. Oakland FFA is quickly picking up speed with chapter speaking night tonight, where I just came from, where there was public speaking, prepared public speaking, extemporaneous public speaking, pre-speaking, job interview, sophomore public speaking, lots of fun events, which is still going on. And then on the 29th is district convention for FFA, and the district officer elections start early next month. The chapter officers have been busily planning the new month's schedules and preparing for the upcoming competitions. Today's chapter speaking night included, sorry, I already said that. And we will prepare for the competitions, which are next month. For the theme of January's after-school program, the high school theme is New Year, New You. So the program this month will have 3 focuses: the food handler certification, first aid and CPR training, and driver's permit prep, which have been going great so far. So furthermore, the high school is back at it from a break with sports, the after-school program, activities, and school spirit. So thank you for your time tonight. Have a good evening.
Thank you. All right. Principal council reports. We have those in the packet. If anyone has any questions on those. Maintenance and custodial reports, those are also in your packet, or you got it tonight?
It'll be at your table.
Yeah.
I can't do it. So,
is there. I don't know if anyone has any questions on that. Otherwise, we'll move ahead to the facilities.
All right, facilities report. We did not have a facilities committee meeting this month. We had some schedule conflicts, so we just went ahead and pushed it to next month. But just a quick update, lots of projects going on. Our dirt moving project probably are currently our biggest project, and we made great progress on that before break. And then rains hit, and then we ran into a snag that we're still working to fix. We had PPL come out and move all the power off of the pole that's in there. And if you walk by, you can see that most of the dirt's dug around, but we still got as big of a 3 feet and then a big circle where the pole is still in place. We have the new pole set and the power's been moved to it, but there's still wires going to that pole. And that is CenturyLink, which hasn't been used in who knows how long, about a century, I think. And it is attached, and we can't get in CenturyLink hardly operates in Douglas County, so they have one local person, and getting a hold of them is difficult. Getting a hold of the supervisors are difficult, and so we're trying to get them to come out and cut it so we can then get that pole out. And once we do that, we'll get the rest of the dirt out and get it smoothed out, and then be done for this section of it. So phase 1 at that point will be done. The excavators that are doing that work they're still working on they've got their silt fence in place over by the road, and some in the field. They're kind of working on just sprucing that up and getting the finishing touches on that. And then we'll essentially be on hold with that part of the project until spring when the rains are done, and then we can go which we're still in search of where we're going to get that fill dirt, the other 15,000 yards, and get over there. The CenturyLink thing has caused to be a problem, and we finally just sent them hey, you need to get somebody out here or we're going to cut it ourselves. We're building, we went ahead and we got to bury some conduit underground. So we got to dig a trench and bury the conduit for our fiber optic line that comes out of the elementary school and pushes to Lincoln, and district office and the bus barn and all that. We went ahead and we spent a little bit, like an extra 20% cost-wise, to get the upgraded, brand newest fiber optic wire that supposedly makes things better. So whatever, we're doing that. So we're kind of waiting because I think we're done waiting for CenturyLink. So I think the excavators are going to be here tomorrow, and they're going to go ahead and dig the trench for that, bury that conduit, get it buried, finish the silt fence, and then we're just on hold until we get that hole done. Once we get CenturyLink to come fix it or do their part, and then we got to get PP&L back out here because they're the ones that have to pull the pole. Then we'll dig around it and finish it off. And then again, same thing I told you last month, our fence builders are kind of on hold. They're ready to go. So we will get that fence up out of the goalie around attached to the play shed as soon as that part's done. So it'll just be smoothed out. We did bring in we had to bring in a couple loads of big rock because it was getting so muddy, the truck was getting stuck and so forth. So we brought that in. We'll reclaim that rock and essentially replace it next to where we put in where those buses are parked now. So we'll have another probably 30 feet of parking there. We're hoping to move a few more buses out and again open up some parking there. So that's moving along with those holdups. The OHS gym seismic, we're still in that planning. We're still we're relatively, I'd say we're in the 80% sure we're going to do that in 2 phases. Got all the planning. We're supposed to get final drawings at the end, like second week in February. We're supposed to get the final drawings for their design. Once we do that, we're going to look at it. I think as of right now, the tentative plan is we'll do all the work in the laundry room. That has a boiler in there. When I say I don't know, I truly don't know. It happened who knows how long ago, 30 or 40 years. Someone thought it would be a good idea. They needed some access space to the attic, so they just kept 6 trusses in the laundry room to get that attic space, to get that attic access. So clearly the seismic people are like, ooh, you probably need to fix that. So we're going to tear that out, but in doing that, we'll tear the roof off so we can take that boiler out in one piece. So we don't have to spend all of the extra money that we had to spend at Lincoln to get all the asbestos out of it and tear it and break it up into pieces. We'll be able to take it out in one piece. So we'll have a tiny bit of abatement around where the pipes are at, but the unit as a whole will come out as room. So we'll take care of the laundry room. looking at hopefully doing the bathrooms this summer. We're gonna do the same design that we're doing the 5-6 hall that we have set for the, new gym at, Lincoln. The unisex ones, whatever you want to call it, single use stalls. We'll do that. And then, we're working towards new lighting in there, and then we're gonna have to replace the floor as well, because the floor's done with no more sandings, and so that'll be part of it too, although that might end up as a little bit of an overture that we have to hit for. So we're still planning on, and what might happen is, I think ideally, and our plan right now, we'll do all of that work except the floor, and we'll push the floor to next summer. But during the summer, we have the entire summer to do it, instead of trying to, right at the end, get the floor set, knowing we have to start volleyball in the fall and fall sports. So should be good there. LMS phase 2's on schedule, ready to go as soon as they have all the plans, all the subs are scheduled. So that should be a smooth transition to finish that. Flooring people did come in over for break and looked at it. They did some small repairs to that hallway floor, basically to get us through. But I might say by next summer, they're going to tear it all out and do it again, which is fine. It's all under warranty. So they're aware of that and working on it. Softball projects on track for this summer as well. There's been a few hiccups as far as I think some maybe miscommunication and misperceptions about what exactly we were going to do and how we were going to do it. Yes, retaining wall, no retaining wall, things along those lines. So I scheduled a meeting for next, say, Tuesday after our weekly construction meeting for the bond stuff or for the seismic stuff. And we're going to walk through it with the engineer, the designer, with all the players around it, and say, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what we think we need to be done, and so forth, so we can get that wrapped up. Softball contingent is working through writing grants and hoping to get their money in to pay for the backstop and other small things, and then got the dugout plans and everything. So moving along on that, planning on breaking ground on that tentatively right after Father's Day, so the summer baseball's over with. That final tournament's Father's Day weekend, and then they'd be done. Whether we actually break ground then or push it off with all of the other projects we have going on in the summer, it's kind of debatable. I mean, that's the one that can bleed into the fall once school starts, so we'd be okay. The bond work for the new gyms is moving along at a good rate. We have another meeting tomorrow with architects and quite a few final questions, but we're almost done with that design. And still, I mean, I'm going to say at this point, tentatively, we're still on track to break ground late March, April 1st-ish. Obviously, weather permitting is going to make a difference in what that's going to do. It's definitely going to be a big disruption to the end of school down there at Lincoln, and then summer and then beginning of school. But still hoping for a late March, early April start and end of the year finish. But I mean, that's a very aggressive timeline, and we know that, but that's what we're shooting for. So we did get the fire. I think we got all the fire stuff worked out. So we're going to do the access around the front instead of putting the road around in behind, save quite a bit of money there and a lot less disruptions going into the playground area. And then hopefully you guys saw as you were driving through town, we have leaderboard action. We have bricks being laid. Vintage 2.5 years. It's like historic now. We went yesterday. I went down with Alan and Court, and the three of us picked up the bell from the and it is heavy. They weren't lying. Picked up the bell from the museum, and we have that set to go. And Brandon's going to. He's got the thing hung, so he's got to make whatever the hanger is going to be to put it in there. And then I think that power is going to be here. Power will be turned on by next week. So I think they're going to bring the actual board down next week. So we really should see a finished product within the next maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So sweet. Finally. Just in time for my email. So other than that, I think we have a few other small projects. I think I have 1 or 2 other ones in the actual separate reports, but moving along, and as always, super busy on that front, but feel like we're making really good progress on those projects. Questions on that? All right.
Yeah. You're up again.
All right. Super report. We're kicking off. We've established our Acorn to Oak Foundation. we have that in place. We're kicking that off. Maybe bit off a little bigger chunk than we were ready to chew up, but it is what it is. The time's coming on the 25th. So kicking that foundation off with a kickoff of our Hall of Fame ideas and so forth on the 25th. So not this Saturday, but next Saturday. I think it's a 4 o'clock dinner in the cafeteria, and then they're going to do some speaking and talking about the foundation, get the word out of ways for people to donate if they choose to now, in small, medium, or big donations, however they want to do it, and then also start kind of putting the guidelines out for the Hall of Fame and what that is going to look like and how that's going to be formed. And that's a huge undertaking. I mean, we're nowhere near going to be ready to present this is exactly how it is, but we're going to put some parameters around it and kind of get the word out on this is kind of what we have done right now, and we will do many more specifics along the way. We're hoping to have our first Hall of Fame class aggressively, maybe in the fall of 25, but most likely it'll be more like 26 sometime next year either. And then we're going to try and, I think the idea is to try and create a yearly event, an annual event, either in the fall, maybe to kick off school, or in the spring to get, as we finish up school. The problem is those are clearly the two most busiest times a year. So getting another evening that's going to take a massive amount of planning and so forth in there is going to be difficult, but doing that and getting that going. So it's really exciting, big step forward, and kind of be able to recognize some of the people's amazing accomplishments as they went through Oakland over the years and trying to manage all that. First week back last week from break seemed to go really smooth, and it's getting back in the swing of things and had to reteach some habits to some kids and maybe some staff too. But got a good start and are in good shape there. Started working on calendars for next year. Hoping to have some calendar proposals to go out to the union within the next week or two. So my hope is to have in the February packet a calendar for you guys to approve. That's the plan. We did a updated QPR training for just suicide recognition training for our new hires in the last 2 years. We did that last Friday. So got them up to speed. So everybody in the district is set for that. Grade day. So we're at the halfway point in 2 more weeks. It's the last day of the semester. So halfway through the school year, it's how fast things have moved. Corey and I have had a few just minor, just kind of tip of the icebergs, moving towards kind of budget stuff and getting things ready for that. We're still early in the game for budget, but not so early that we haven't started kind of kicking some ideas around. As you know, we're heading into the long legislative session. It's really where they're going to set the number for the next biennium. Initial talks sound really good, but we'll see what reality brings. And when Oregon as a whole is in really good financial shape, but that just means there's more people clawing at that piece of the pie. So where that lands for education is yet to be determined. And then last thing, our after school program, which I'm going to reiterate was a huge, massive lift, and kudos to our 3 principals for the amazing work they did to get us where we are. It's going strong. Came back into January, we're inside above our bed, running about 60 to 70 kids after school every day, spread between the 3 buildings. Doing a variety of things and different topics, and it's been very well received. So probably some things I left out, but those are high points.
Any questions? No?
I
You
would
guys
just
are off
add,
the quiet.
I would just add that there's an invitation if you didn't open all your letters, but there's an invitation to the Acorn Rock Folks Foundation dinner there too.
Thank you.
Please join.
The enrollment report.
Well, I'm going to go back to that September number. Is staggeringly scary. It's at 71. That's way too big. We came back down to still big, but a more palatable number at 643. Elementary schools running strong at 250, which is roughly 50 per grade level. It's not exactly that, but that's kind of on average. I'd say that's pretty much where we're at in all 3 buildings. But numbers are big. We still have movement, a couple kids coming in, kids going out. So movement there is still going. So on a positive note, enrollment's hanging strong, bigger than we expected. So obviously we're going to have that financial piece that comes with that. On the negative side, 643 is pretty dang big. And so I wouldn't say we're at capacity, but we're feeling it. So we're not going to get any bigger. It's not by choice.
Washington property update.
I've been in conversations with the city, working through that. I think I walked you guys through it. I don't know if I actually showed you the picture, but you basically got the grass field that's got a city street down the middle that you can't see because it hasn't been developed. And so in conversations with the city and trying to set a meeting with them to talk a little bit about some maybe a property swap, which I talked a little bit about at the last meeting. One of their important people within the city has been sick and spending some time in the hospital. So for them to recover, and then we'll get together and have that meeting. So I would like to say within the next month-ish, I'm guaranteed it'll be by the next meeting, but hopefully I can sit down and have that meeting and we can maybe hammer out some ideas. And then from the last meeting, you guys kind of gave me the ability to do that. I will do it, but I'm still going to come back to you guys and say, hey, here's what our final plan is. Are you guys good with this? Again, I think between our Washington property with the parking lot, the strip mall, the gym, and then that other piece, I think what we want from the city, essentially something that they don't have any use for. But they do need some parking. They do need some parking for City Hall and so forth. So I think we're going to be able to finagle some things that they're gonna wind up happy and we're gonna wind up happy. So that should be very little cost. Should just be a straight trade is what I'm hoping for, to be able to do that. And then basically as soon as that happens and that is official, which nothing runs fast clearly, but as soon as that's done and that paperwork's done, that we made those switches and it's registered through the city and county, that property will go up for sale. And again,
He's gonna bribe,
what's that?
he's gonna bribe them properly.
Yeah. That city council's a tough group, so I don't know if bribes will work or not. Maybe some trees.
9.8 policies.
All right, you have a very beautifully thick pack of policies in front of you. So just like always, the first 5-6 pages of it is my summary of all of the policies in front of you. Now we just got this update. The email came out on Monday after I'd already done all my homework. And that was with the, you saw it but the federal judge in, I think, Kentucky, overruled Biden's work on the expansion of Title IX. So at this point, that has reverted back to the old interpretation of Title IX. So 6 or 8 of these policies in your book are now null and void. So we were adding those policies because of the new interpretation of Title IX, because that got overturned at that federal level. Now those policies are not going into place. So we attached the email on there. If you want to, I mean, if you go through your first pages, I can tell you real quick which ones to check out. You can highlight them on there for. She highlighted the email, but it gets so pretty easy. You guys are smart enough to put that A and B together. But so there's probably 6 or 8 administrative rules and policies that are no longer there. So just the rest of them, read them through. Again, I gave you a very brief but a pretty clear summary. And definitely, you're welcome to read them all. Remember, this is you have our policy, current policy. And then right underneath, you have the new policy. The new policy will have all the highlighted stuff that I put on there for the bracketed language of scratch it or keep it or may, will, and more, whatever, all those. So you read them through, and then we'll come back to the February meeting with the second reading. I did not, this is the November, December update that I have for you. They shot out a January update that only had like 3 or 4 policies, but I did not have time to get those, or I would have added them in. So next meeting, you'll have the second reading of these, the first reading of your other ones, but they are very short. So it'll be a lot easier. Get the worst ones first, or the most, not the worst. We'll be probably the worst. Any questions on policies? All right, with some light reading for you guys.
Excellent. 9.9 superintendent evaluation.
So you should have a sheet in front of you. Basically, because you guys haven't told me to do any different, we just use the exact same form you used last year. So you have that. You guys can kind of do it the same way you did last year. Go ahead and take it home, fill it out. You guys get it back to Lynn. She will then collect, compile it, put it all together. The only thing I would add to it, and finding how you guys want to do it, this probably might not be the most official way to do it. If you guys want other people filling that out, if you want the principals to fill it out, if you want Cory and Lynn, other people that are working, that's all the people still. So as of now, it's just you guys doing it. That's how we've done it in the 2 years previous, plus and that's what we're doing the last few years. So if you want it different, that's fine. But that's what we have right now. So if you guys take it, get it, if you could get it a little bit before. So generally what we've done, and that's why it's in the discussion, just to kind of talk it through to make sure. So if you guys get it up within the next 2 weeks, she'll compile everything and give you guys finished copies. I have on their board, we'll want to, for next meeting, do an executive session to determine at the end of the meeting how long we need that to be. And then we can just talk it through, present it at the open session. If you want any changes, let me know. Otherwise, stick with that.
The only change would probably be, we should have that question on page 2. So it has a,
I would say if you guys are all on the same page with it, if you flip it over to on F right there, I would just say, just kind of in your own mind, I'll just rate it as how is the communication. So it says, do you have trouble understanding this person's communications?
Yeah.
Rate the communication. Yeah. Individual interpretation works for that. And to be fair, that's not my communication. I that placed before me, so that's not my communication. I'm not taking credit for that.
All right. 9.10 LMS name change.
So we talked a couple meetings ago, actually it was probably a few months ago, it's August, September meeting, talked about some initiatives to do that. And Mr. Legore had worked through that. We presented to you guys to get an initial feel. You guys said go out and do your homework and see, how that is received within the community. We've done that. I'll turn this over to Mr. Legore here in a second to talk about. We've done all that, and so now we're coming back to you guys with kind of the results of what we've done.
Turnout wasn't amazing at the meetings, but as far as the people that were there, really nothing negative. They were supportive, positive, more of just informational. They wanted more understanding of why we were looking to. Otherwise, I haven't really gotten any negative feedback.
They seem to be understanding once you explain why.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is having the opportunity to lay it out. So we have that opportunity. Most people.
I just think unity within the district, that's really I mean, for all of the reasons we have, just being it just is. Yeah, Oakland Elementary School, Oakland High School, and Lincoln Middle School. So adding that Oakland Middle School. So it's unified. We're all together. What we are, who we are. We all represent the same thing. I think there's lots of positives to it. We can actually use and kind of distribute uniforms and other things between the buildings instead of it having to say Lincoln or whatever. It can, the Oakland stuff we have at the high school that is no longer being used or is phased out can move down if it's still in good shape, be used down there. So a lot of positives to it. So far, the community's been supportive.
I think if you go outside of the community too, I mean, if you've ever been to a game, we are Oakland. We usually are referred to as Lincoln. Football games we're Oakland. Even the other ADs that know where Lincoln Middle School they.
We'll call it clarity.
Yep. No more confusion.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, yeah.
Any questions regarding that? All right. 9.11 board elections reminder.
It's just a reminder that election season's coming up. 4 of you guys are up for re-election. Tom, just so, let's see, so Darren and Brent, your guys's, and Darren, Brent, and Lisa, your 3 positions are expiring in 25, so you have to rerun. Tom, yours goes through 27, but you're appointed, so you also have to rerun that place. So just letting you guys know, if you want to pass those 3 down. So you guys need to get those filled in. Those have to be turned in to the elections office. Can't turn them in until February 8th, but they have to be filed by March 20th. So, take a minute if you are planning on it. So, wanted to make sure you have it on your radar. So, if you were planning on rerunning, then you didn't just forget about it, miss the deadline. Missing the deadline is like not running. So, don't do that.
All right. 9.12 ESD local service plan.
So we do this each year. At the back of your packet is the ESD local service plan. This basically is it's a process of their budgeting process that they have to do. And hey, here's all the things that we offer through the ESD that gets offered out to us. It's laid out there. We take advantage of a fair amount of those services. We do not necessarily take advantage of all of those services, but we have flow-through dollars that we use for them. We also have some things that we contract through ESD for behavioral services and so forth with our SIA dollars and so forth. But this is just an overview of it. They have to, all the ESDs in the state have to then present it to their local entities, and if you choose, you have to accept that, which sure guys is for me to do whatever you want with that, but I would recommend that we approve it because we do use a lot of their services, and not just in the flow through dollars, but also purchase services.
Regarding that.
Okay.
Moving along, 9.13, the Trailblazer grant.
So you have in front of you, grant together by OES, basically that Portland Trailblazers grant. We've gotten that grant for a couple of different things. So we got the soundboards up in the middle school, the old LMS gym, and I think can't remember what the other ones, but I think Nick got it for something.
Yeah, he got a 5,000 one last year for user engraver.
So we've gotten a couple for them. I mean, we purchase books for the SFA program, novels, and decodable books for current set of novels that are old and falling apart. I would say we got to be pretty close to having all those gone because we put money from our literacy grant the last 2 years. I mean, we're putting money towards it, so it's not like they're being ignored. We're just cycling through. They've been ignored for a while, and that's how we got in the position. But we should be close to having them gone and all up to date. And with the focus on literacy, obviously we want the most newest cutting edge. So C spot run is not quite as up to date as it used to be.
You did it.
Jack and Jane are gone too.
All right. Any public comment regarding agenda items this evening? Yes.
I have a question regarding to the LMS name change. So when you guys plan on like changing this name, because I know like it's still on the table. Like the idea is out there, but when do you plan on doing this if you don't have anyone like against the idea?
Our plan is we're going to put it in play, assuming that the board makes that choice to do it at the end of the night. Then we will put that change in play next year because we need to do. It'll be at the start of next year because we got to do some rebranding, obviously, sign in front, some other things that say Lincoln Middle School. We'll have to phase those out. So, but the plan will be to start it at the beginning of next year.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other public comment? Yes.
Yeah, I more so have like a question. Should we like 643 people in the like students in the whole district or something? Why do we not want to go like much higher?
Well, because there's a lot of reasons for that, but the first is just capacity. I mean, you think about where we would put them right now we don't have class classrooms for them. We don't have extra space. So right now, if we bring in 30 more students, those 30 students have to be dissipated into our already filled classrooms. So we only have so much physical capacity. Hiring new teachers that you would need to do for that, again, you have to have classrooms to put them in, you have to have spaces. And so we end up with teachers having to teach on the stage or teach in open public air, like the library would then have to become a classroom, those kind of things. So really, it's a capacity issue. Not to mention a districting issue. If you, at least at the high school perspective, if we add a certain number, then we move from 2A to 3A. So then our travel to other districts goes, or travel for all of our sports changes as we move districts.
Thank you.
Good question. Any other public comment?
Tyler, you gotta have something here. It's 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I guess, I was kind of wondering, can you give me like an overview of what the policies, the 6 policies that were nullified based on the 99?
It was all had to do with sexual discrimination, sex-based discrimination. They're all Title IX related policies. So with that new Title IX and the expansion of the definition of Title IX to include gender identity and so forth, that changed all of these policies to match that. Now, because that got struck down and it constricted that Title IX definition, we went essentially these new policies that said were required that we had to adopt are no longer required because they're null and void with the change in the law. They were changed back in the law. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Either comments or questions? All right. We'll move along to action items. First up, 11.1, local service plan. That's the ESD. Local service plan. I entertain a motion for that.
Make a motion that we accept the 2025-26 local service plan resolution.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? None? All right. Let's vote. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. Passes. 11.2, the LMS name change.
Make a motion to do the name changes to Oakland. Yeah.
Middle school.
Middle school.
I would, I'm not telling you to change your motion, but I would put a panel out to, in effect.
Oh, by.
Yeah, like in effect at the beginning of next year, or however you want to do it, but.
Mine's going up next year.
So by the beginning of next year.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion for the LMS name change that would take effect at the beginning of this next school year. The change would be to Oakland Middle School. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, that passes. And 11.3, and that is the Trailblazer grant. Anyone like to make a motion?
Make a motion to approve the Trailblazer grant.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes as well. Upcoming meeting input.
The only thing I have for that is how long would you guys like for that executive session? The next meeting to talk about evaluation. I want to say last year we did a half hour.
Yeah, I said.
I would think so.
Yeah.
That should be fun.
Okay.
So
That works.
just make note of yourself. So we'll have a 7 o'clock meeting at 6:30.
Anything else for meeting input? All right, we're good to the order.
Just on a personal note, I had some family medical stuff going on. It's cost me a little bit of time the last week or two, and it's not getting any better at this point. So I don't know what it's going to look like for me in the next couple of weeks. I mean, I'll manage the job, but it's going to cost me some time away from the district. So just want you guys to have that heads up and know. I'll take care of what I need to take care of here, but I'm going to be also.
Announcements?
I guess I can announce I like this recording thing, 43 minutes, and I'm pretty sure that's a record.
I'd just like to say on behalf of the board, thank you for everything tonight.
Yeah.
For board appreciation. We appreciate being appreciated.
That's all.
All right. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Most major.
Second?
Second.
Adjourn. Thanks, everybody.